What's up, YouTube? It's your computer engineering gamer back with some fresh new content. We're dripped out in the Star Wars shirt, looking absolutely fire. Rebel Team, baby, let's go. Today, we're going to be reviewing our boy, the Frogarchist, and we're going to look at his new KOTOR video that came out roughly 2 weeks ago, looking at how you can beat KOTOR with only the short sword. We're going to do a little bit of deep dive review, watch his video, check out his build. I have a little bit of experience of my own right here. As you can see, I've done a couple challenges between using only the force, using only dual wield with no force powers, and anything I'm coming up with in the future. If you want to check me out, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And we're going to dive in and see how he beat KOTOR using only the short sword. Check out Frogarchist. He's got other videos on KOTOR and other playthroughs. He's got very good content. Go give him a look.
The weapon you get in KOTOR is the short sword, which is very
As we all
weak.
know,
It
you
only
wake
does 1
up,
to
you get the
6
short
damage,
sword.
and you only use it for 2 fights
And
before getting a
you gotta
better
get that long
sword.
sword.
As
When
the
you get
game
that long sword, you feel
progresses,
so
get
much
even
better.
Swords and lightsabers and so on. But what if you never used anything else? I'm a frog, and for this
He's a
video,
frog.
I tried to beat KOTOR with only the short sword. Here are the rules. Obviously, no other weapons, but also no offensive force powers are allowed. It wouldn't
Okay, so we get no weapons, no offensive force powers. He sounds like he's still going to use force buffs, and that's going to play into how he allocates his force powers. With that, he doesn't need as many force powers to allocate, so he'll probably end up Jedi Guardian or Sentinel for the defensive capabilities. We'll get into that later.
be much of a challenge if I could just spam Force Storm in late game. I
True.
also can't dual wield short swords. I only have one short sword and that's it. I have to do combat solo when possible.
Imagine if this was like the the new Jedi series games, with like Cal Kestis, and you could use the blaster pistol and the short sword and see how this would change. You know, somebody could mod that in there.
Sometimes the game requires you to bring companions, so when that happens, it's fine. I can also bring companions around when I'm not fighting to use their skills and finish quests and so on.
Okay, so an absolute solo run here. We're going absolutely solo with the short sword, force buffs, no offensive force powers. That seems like where we're going. If I had to make a guess, he's going to go soldier here because he's going to get that health
I'm
buff.
playing on the hardest difficulty, difficult. Those are the rules, let's hop in. The very important step 1 of this challenge was creating my character. I chose soldier because it's the best for combat and I needed to compensate for only having a short sword. For my portrait, I'd usually...
Exactly, when you're using a guardian, you get about a 10 health per vitality bonus per level. Instead of, let's say you're a scoundrel, you get 6 per level. So this is going to be a huge difference for him. He's going to get better offensive and defensive reflex saves. He's going to have to worry about his wisdom saves in the future, though, but he can probably offset that with some mind-affecting immunity gear. He'll probably make that decision, and we'll evaluate and get into that.
On the attribute screen, I picked almost the same as in my KOTOR 2 Plasma Torch only video with the same logic. I need to compensate for having a really weak weapon the whole game. So I went 16 Strength and 16 Constitution, then 14 in Wisdom and 12 in Charisma, leaving Dexterity and Intelligence at 8, making me a clumsy idiot.
We have 16 Strength, 16 Constitution. He's going to be strong. He's going to hit every time, do as much damage as possible. He's going to have a lot of health with his Constitution being at 16. That's at least a +3 modifier, and he's going to get that extra health bonus every level. It's going to stack up heavily in the beginning game. And he has low dexterity. His negative dexterity, actually, so his defense is lower, and he's more likely to get hit. However, with this strong, big boost of health, he's not really worried about that. Plus, he's going to be using heavy gear, and he's going to offset that by just not having a dexterity bonus necessary. Wisdom and Charisma, he actually did apply to offset his loss in wisdom that he's going to get as a soldier for his saves. So he will have at least some good saving throws with at least a +1 from wisdom. Actually a +3 because he'll have 14 and 12. He'll have a +3. 2 from wisdom, 1 from charisma, and that will help him in his saving throws.
For skills, this entire playthrough, I will only ever be putting points into treat injury.
Okay, breaking that down. Treat injury works as follows. Your med packs, your basic med packs, will give you 10 health plus 1 point per your treat injury skill. Your advanced med packs will give you a 20-point boost plus 2 points for every constant treat injury point you put in. And then the life support pack gives you 30 points with a +3 for every single point you have in treat injury. So when he applies every single point he ever gets to treat injury, one med pack is going to absolutely make him unkillable. It's going to be the biggest thing he needs for this entire playthrough.
First feat didn't matter too much. I chose dueling to give me +1 to attack and defense with only one weapon equipped.
Dueling is going to be his most important skill to get maxed out immediately. +3 to attack and +3 to defense. mostly just for the defensive capability, but it's going to be very imperative that he gets that up. The other ones are kind of pish posh. Like you want Master, power attack to get good damage or flurry to get another attack, but you'll lose defense on that. And he's already suffering for defense, so he might as well go for the loss of hit chance on the power attack and just get that damage boost.
In this game, you don't get every attack feat right off the bat. So the soldier's default attack feat is power attack, and that's what I'd be sticking with for this whole playthrough rather than using an extra feat to get flurry. Because of the short sword's low damage, the damage boost from master power attack is actually better for me than gaining an extra attack from flurry.
True, he made this evaluation already. Flurry will go and give you damage based off your initial weapon, and that attack is going to be based off that. Since the short sword has no extra chance to do an effect, no extra damage boost, it's super low, 1 to like 6. His best chances is just to get the power attack and get a guaranteed like +8 or 12 or whatever he's going to get when he hits master power attack.
Also, unlike in the Plasma Torch video, this time I will not be apologizing for nerding out on details while discussing a D&D based Star Wars RPG. I found a better sword, so good guy frog advice, don't waste any med packs until you get to the starboard side.
That's true. You are invincible when you are going through this first initial area, so just attack. Most of you probably know this, but just attack.
Trask and I encountered a Jedi dueling with the singer from Disturbed, and after winning, the Jedi gets killed by an explosion, but much to my dismay, when I was 5 years old, you are not able to grab her lightsaber. We cleared the bridge, and it was time for my first...
Very, very good point. You see a Jedi first thing in the game. Imagine if this was KOTOR 2, and you have to build your lightsaber, and you just can't... There's like no Jedi enemies in KOTOR 2 until you get like deep in, and you have to build your lightsaber. But imagine if you could just pick up this lightsaber first thing in the game and just go onto Terrace with that thing. I mean, shoo! 16 damage would go crazy. Crazy! Level 1 going through the entire door ring? Hello?
First level up. For my feat, I chose toughness to give me an extra health point every level up. Around the next corner, we encountered Darth Brandon.
Attack, defense, and health you can't go wrong with.
To allow me to escape. Rip homie. Before I left the apartment, I upgraded a sword that I couldn't use anyway and had an extra conversation with Karth where it turns out he has trust issues.
Why did he even choose to upgrade the sword instead of just sell all the components separately and get the money and buy extra med packs? Or extra gear? I don't know. Kind of seems like a wasted opportunity there, but nothing really gameplay impacting for him at this point. He's still going to reap the benefits.
To Dia, about trouble she was having, sold stuff I didn't need.
Very much known to be Dia. It talks about it later.
Speaking of which, I would be light side this playthrough because without offensive force powers, there just isn't much of a reason to be dark side. And because being evil in video games makes me feel bad. Just don't watch my Dishonored video.
We were going to go to our good friend Strategy Wiki and break down why it's better to go light side versus dark side and why he should actually do either or. So as we stand right now, we're on Terrace. We're not a Jedi. However, later on in the game, whether you are a light side or dark side nets you different benefits. Okay, so if you're a light side Jedi Guardian, which I'm assuming he's going to go with because he just wants to be buffed with attack and health, he's going to get a +3 to his strength attribute completely. Now this is going to give him a bonus chance to hit and damage, potentially 2 for each. That could be big, which is always good. He might go Jedi Sentinel. He's not going to go Jedi Consular. We're just going to knock that out of the park. Jedi Sentinel, he will get a Constitution +3, so we'll get a health boost and immunity to poison if he goes Dark Side. If you are a Jedi Sentinel, there's literally no reason to go Dark Side and get immunity to poison. You're always going to want to play a light side Jedi Sentinel because +3 to Constitution is just the way better bonus 1,000 times out of 1,000. So Jedi Guardian, however, physical 1 to 8 damage and +3 to strength. Here's where I think he's missing out on with this playthrough. +3 strength is a +1 to hit and a potential +2, but only a +2 to his damage. However, when you are using a light sword such as this, 1 to 8 physical damage is automatically doubling every damage roll you put out. I mean, almost. Like, you go from a range of 1 to 6 to 2 to 14, you're basically just using, like, a better longsword at that point, and you're obviously doing better than a short sword. You can't really go wrong either way. The +3 to strength is going to help him out more with his power attacks. He's going to get a better hit chance on his power attacks, which is ultimately going to be where he's grabbing most of his damage. But going dark side here would be a good choice as well, based off how low the damage is for the short sword.
And entered my first fight against Deadeye Dunkin' Donuts, where I very embarrassingly whiffed on my first attack despite him being the weakest character in the entire game. Because of that, I thought I might lose my second fight to Girl on Two Fingers, but that was not to be, as I successfully defeated the Shocker and was done with the dueling ring for now.
That is quite impressive that he missed his first attack on Deadeye Dunkin' Donuts, as he likes to say. Pretty fire name, I'm not gonna lie. He's actually got fucking comedy going on in this bitch. But then he just absolutely wipes Girl on Two Fingers with power attacks. That's crazy. That's hilarious.
I leveled.
But as you can see, this is where that +1 to attack from his dueling feat and his +1 to defense is actually kicking in really hard here. That dueling feat definitely saved him a lot with his fight against Girl on Two Fingers, plus the sword versus blaster combat is always better.
Up once again. For my feat, I chose weapon focus for melee weapons, giving me a +1 attack bonus. Huge. I encountered a...
As he says, that's huge. Getting a +1 to his attack bonus on his power attacks is crazy, because that just makes it so much harder for you to hit people. But the more you can hit that power attack, you're going to hit some big damage that he needs in this playthrough.
Paid Largo a visit for a few hundred experience points and the opportunity to turn in his bounty later for 300 credits.
So he's prioritizing credits here over light side alignment, just killing Largo. I thought he said he didn't want to be evil, but that's just me, man.
This is a dark side move, so I wanted to do it first before all my light side stuff. By the time this game is over, none of the Jedi praising me will have cared that I killed an innocent person for $300.
Brother, if that's what you're going to say, you want to do this dark side before you get your light side actions, you can hit up dark side actions all game, damn near, until you get to, like, the Rakuten planet. Like, you can get so much light side throughout all these planets that you can just, like, save it all to the last 2 planets. If you're at least neutral, you're going to remain at least neutral, and then you can just start buffing your light side points at least in the last, like, 1 or 2 planets, and then you'll be fine. You'll get the final bonus.
I walked past a space racist guy yelling hateful nonsense, then went into a droid store run by a Twi'lek and bought an astromech droid, which almost immediately blew up. That's the last time I'll ever trust a wormhead. Using the Sith disguise, which I equipped onto Karth.
Racism? In my Teresian noble?
We were able to get past the guard into the
a plague!
Black Vulcar gang, who I fought and got absolutely destroyed by for my first death. I chalked it up though to just bad luck on the behind-the-scenes dice rolls happening. I missed like 5 attacks in a row, so I retried the fight without using...
This fight is actually surprisingly difficult if you go into this unprepared. I don't know what they thought about they needed to buff these Black Vulcars right here, but if you go down this elevator and face these 3 Vulcars, like, without any armor equipped or anything, it's actually, like, difficult for no reason. I don't know why, but it's just, like, sometimes it's just, like, you die here.
Favorite little things I figured out as a kid was that if you bait these Vulcars and run back towards the Beck base, the lookout will actually help you fight them. Work smarter, not harder.
Hey, work smarter, not harder, especially in a playthrough where you don't have damage. However, Terrace is kind of a wash. You're not supposed to have a bunch of stuff on Terrace anyways. This part is most likely not going to be too difficult for him. But the other ladder is, it's not going to be too difficult for him later, because once you start hitting level 15, you're just busted in this game.
Leveled up yet again to level 4, where I put another attribute into strength. Every time I get an attribute, that's where it'll go, so I'm not going to mention it again.
So with that mentioned, he's going to get to a total of 20 strength attribute points off his base 16, and then any modifiers he gets from gear and such afterwards.
I got the improved power attack feat, which ups the damage bonus for power attack to +8. Even
with a -3 to hit,
then I
note
got the
that
improved power attack
he
feat, which
needs
ups the
every
damage bonus
attack
for power
bonus
attack to
he can get with that -3. So with his strength at 16, he's getting a +3 from that. He's at 17 strength now, so he still doesn't get the next point. So he's only mitigating this, and now he has his +1 attack bonus from dueling and his +1 attack bonus from his melee proficiency, and now he has at least a +2 when he's power attacking.
Each complex has its own puzzle room. The first is really easy and only has 3 questions to answer. The second is a lot more complicated, but because I'm a giant nerd, I have the solution memorized.
This memorization is so easy, it's not that hard at all. But the best part about the other complex is when you get the explosion in the other. The explosion is so funny. It's hilarious. But the Achani Fiber Armor is the biggest pickup in this game ever. It improves you drastically at the beginning of the game. Drastically. This thing goes up to a +7 defense. And that is the best armor you're going to have until you get, like, 2 planets in almost, or until you kill Calo Nord, which is most likely the armor he's going to use once he leaves this planet because he has no defense. The Echani Fiber Armor at least gives you a +5 overhead for your dexterity with the +7 defense. He's not utilizing any of that, but the +7 defense is absolutely imperative for him right now instead of using the combat suit.
Armor of choice for the remainder of Terrace. It starts with a +5 bonus to defense, but you can upgrade it to get it to +7 and be really strong against cold and fire attacks. One of the 2 bounties in the apartments is this Twi'lek.
The cold and fire attack part doesn't really matter at all. Most people don't throw plasma grenades, only the Sith grenaders.
And tried to save Hindar from a lone rat ghoul because for some reason bro left the settlement even though a single rat ghoul is too much for him. I quickly learned though that I shouldn't be talking trash. This rat ghoul has crazy high health and I was having trouble even hitting him and I died my first attempt.
Once again, I wasn't familiar with your game, Rakul. Oh man, that's funny. But once again, just like the 3 Black Vulkars, this fight with this Rakul is like ridiculously tough for no reason. And especially if you go after this fight with this one Rakul, and sometimes there's 3 of them, I feel like. But if you go fight the 3 Rakuls in the health part, where you got to heal the people with the Rakul serum, if you go fight those things, they're strong too. Like, they just put buffs on these Rakuls, man.
Items from the menu. So if you use a med pack or shield, stimulant, etc. from the menu instead of in combat, it doesn't take up a turn. So I could heal and use an attack on the same turn, saving Hindar.
So we're playing like scum. We're gonna play like scum to get through this. Hey, I respect it, brother. The challenge is here. You have a short sword only, and you're in a challenge. You got to do everything you can.
Got me to level 5 where I chose the weapon specialization feat for melee weapons to get +2 damage to my sword, and that would be my last level up for Terrace.
+3. Okay, so a couple things he just said. Last level for Terrace, he's going to stop at soldier level 5 and go for extra Jedi class levels and get extra force buffs, most likely. The other thing is his saves are probably better as a Jedi class, and they probably improve a little better. If I had to break it down completely, one of the biggest reasons for this that he just mentioned that is that when you are one of these base classes, your saves are atrocious, brother. Your saves are atrocious. You have a fast and a slow for your fortitude, reflex, and will. Your scout gets fast, but he's not playing a scout right now. He's playing a soldier. But even then, if you're playing a scoundrel, you get slow, fast, and slow. Your saves are atrocious. Your saves are only good if you're a scout, but no one wants to play scout because that class is garbage. The free implants are kind of whatever, man. They're kind of whatever. But you don't get much for being a scout, in my opinion. Most people are going to probably start roasting me for that later. But the defense from Scoundrels looks better, and the big boost from health is just better for a soldier. But once you come down here to a Jedi class, your Jedi Guardian is going to get fast, and average saves. Your Jedi Sentinel is going to get fast, and average. And your Consular is going to get fast, average, and fast. Nothing below average. Everything's fast or average. Huge play for him to save those levels. And if you haven't ever tried to save your levels, you should. Because if you save your levels and you go Jedi Consular at level like 2, like I did in my Force only playthrough, you get all your Force powers. You get more of them. And they're much better because you're going to get all the stuff with it.
Right after leveling up, I ran into Mission, who I summarily brought back to the lower city apartments to recover mines for me, then removed her from my party so I could fight Selvin for another bounty.
He recovered all the mines for the money he's going to be buying gear for later. Pretty sure, because I don't think he's going to be planting mines in this playthrough. I think he's really going to stick to just using the short sword.
Weaker than the first one that killed me earlier, and I don't think it was just because I leveled up. I think the first Rat Ghoul must have been juicing or something. I grabbed the Rat.
Nope, that first Rat Ghoul is actually just stronger than these other like couple you fight later. The Rat Ghoul Fiends are strong later on, and when you go down to like the bodies or whatever, but these couple right here aren't very strong.
And then you can just fast travel back. I was abusing this feature like crazy. Pretty much after every fight, I'd get a free heal this way.
The best time to do this is during the Black Vulkar base. You go into the base, you fight all the people, especially in front of the armory, where you get swarmed by a bunch of Black Vulkars, and then you just exit the Black Vulkar base, teleport, come back, and then proceed into the Vulkar base. You can even do this when you go down to the basement. You can go back up, go outside, transmit back to your base, transmit back to the Vulkar base, go inside, full health, yada yada. It's good. You should do it.
Error of figuring out who to attack first. I started by attacking the Chief first, which was a mistake. I got through it when I started fighting the Elites first. So eventually I cleared them.
Yeah, like when you have the Elites and they're attacking you from the side and they're not as much like good with their health versus the Chief, You just want to get rid of enemies here as possible. He could have also went and got the droid repaired, because it obviously seemed like he's repairing droids because he did on the not the Ebonok, on the ship at the beginning, whatever. He repaired the droid there, but that's also part of like the story, is that you either shock the people in there or use the droid, and like I don't think you can really get through without doing one of those two.
Except on dark side playthroughs for a very specific purpose. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Also, Zalbar is not bad to use in your party. I mean, 20 strength off rip. He can absolutely bust up some individuals. I used Zalbar on my dual blade playthrough, and he was a monster. He was a menace.
This room has a foot locker with a few plasma grenades and a couple thousand credits, so this was definitely worth it.
This is genuinely one of the most important chests to get behind the one with the suit of armor. This 2,000 credits is a great boost. The plasma grenades are a great boost of money as well if you sell those things, which I think he will. I don't think he's going to use grenades to attack. But this droid sucks, dude. I mean, it freezes you. You got to have some good bonuses. I mean, it kind of helps that he has the cold reduction from this armor. I don't know if he's even equipped that yet. But this droid's tough, man. Especially when I did it with Blaster only run. Oh my god, I was getting my ass clapped.
What I was not counting on was a droid inside the room being able to infinitely spam his freeze ray, keeping me stun locked for the entire fight. I tried the fight again with...
So it sounds like he hasn't done this fight before, or he just hasn't noticed that if you aren't using a full party, it sucks.
Grenades from a distance to stay out of his range.
Okay, so he is using grenades. Never mind. This disproves that theory. So he is going to be getting any grenades he can, and he might even grenade scum Malik. I'm not gonna lie. He might even mine and grenade scum Malik.
Unfortunately, his range was much farther than I anticipated. Then I tried rushing past the droid, hitting the footlockers, and bolting out. This also didn't work. So as much as it pained me, I had to scrap this idea, not get the 2,000 credits, and carry on to the final fight of the Volker base. Again,
tough fight. Don't blame me for skipping that. The only way you could do that fight is if you somehow got like an ion grenade to stun that thing and get super lucky and just power attack your way through before he gets back to normal. If you get frozen once on a solo fight in that thing, you're cooked.
Against this guy, Candon and friends. This fight was shockingly easy. I just had to keep using shields, take out everyone not named Candon first, while he tried punching me for some reason. I guess he forgot he has a sword. Then 1v1ing him took a minute because we were both having a mid-off and couldn't hit each other, but with patience I succeeded. I returned.
Yeah, I mean, it's never really a tough fight if you have a party. However, you're obviously going to get through it if you're spamming med packs from your inventory. Any fight in this game you really can do if you're spamming med packs from your inventory and you have a maximum treat injury skill. So that's definitely one way to get through this playthrough and through this game.
I always do bad my first attempt on purpose so that I can crush it my second attempt, winning the swoop race and my prize of Bastille as a slave. Or
I'm pretty sure that when you do the swoop race, it changes like the times based on how well you do. So that might be a reason he does that, so he doesn't try so hard.
Was Bendick Starkiller, a Mandalorian who only fights in death matches and is by far the hardest. My strategy was simply to spam grenades, then go in for the kill once he was weak.
Okay, yep, he's definitely grenade spamming in this playthrough. I hope he does the glitch for the extra pistol, because then he can get 2 of them and that's 500 credits each, and that'll be good for him to just get a better gear item or anything to equip.
After barely losing my first try, I beat him my second try, and that was the dueling ring. I then bought T3 and 4 from the Twi'lek.
I don't think he did the blaster duplication.
Supposed to be a level 6 or 7 by this point, and have a full squad including the Jedi Bastila. Instead, I'm completely alone, just like you as you watch this video. After every single fight in this base,
he cooked me on that one, chat, I'm not gonna lie. He cooked me on that. I am sitting here alone watching this, but I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys on YouTube, just like he is providing me the YouTube. Hey, you should subscribe. That would be cool, wouldn't it? And then we can all watch KOTOR and talk about it forever together, forever on YouTube. It's going to live here forever. YouTube's going to be forever.
But that led me to the toughest fight of all, the Sith Governor, where...
This would be a tough fight if you are not using Bastila. I mean, sometimes it's tough just using all 3 people, like with T3 in your party and Bastila. Also, before you know, if you want to go in without T3, you can use T3, unlock the Sith base door, and then switch them out and then walk in. That's a trick you can do if you want to do that, but if you're doing this like him, you're using nobody, it's going to be tough because this guy's absolutely buffed.
Like the droid from earlier, he could just stun lock me. I tried this fight a couple times, and in all honesty, I thought the run was dead because there was just no way I could solo him. I'd get maybe one hit in and then get stasised. But after checking the Frogarchist video committee bylaws and having an emergency meeting with my staff, we determined there was another strategy I could use. So I ran outside, put Mission in my party, and placed every single mine I had in front of the door.
Someone's gonna get hurt.
He's gonna mind scum Malik. I'm calling it right now. He's not fighting Malik. He's just gonna mind scum Malik.
And I was actually live streaming Terrace, so here's my live reaction to what happened. Oh, he's still alive. Get him!
Oh.
Yes, all right.
Oh, imagine how mad he would have been if he got stun locked there with 1 HP. Oh, man.
We went into the hangar where I had both of us just focus on Calo Nord because as soon as you get him to half health, Davik automatically dies and the fight ends. We flew away in the Ebon Hawk and grabbed the rest of the crew while Malik...
Did he not loot Calo Nord's or Davik King's body armor? Davik King's body armor would be good because it has a pretty high defense with no necessary, like, really...
Oppenheimer Terrace,
defense.
I got to meet the Jedi Masters. Worm Guy, Bald Guy, Fake Yoda, and, other bald guy. Then after having a bad dream, after examining me and deciding that there's no way I could be a bad guy.
Your light side playthrough, why are you even making this joke? There's no reason for you to make this joke. I mean, I understand why you're making the joke, but it just doesn't fit with your playthrough.
Becoming a Jedi consists of a training montage where I beat up Bastila, who's not only a girl, but like 10 years younger than me. After doing another test that I have memorized, again,
also
because
a fully trained Jedi, and somehow you're beating
Jedi
her.
class, which meant I could finally use my level ups. I decided to be a Jedi Guardian, which is the combat-based class and would give me the most feats and health. So after using my level ups, I was a level 9 in total. Here are my stats.
Okay. Jedi Guardian, level 4, Soldier level 5. He is up to 19 strength, but that's with his plus 4. He might have a bit of a gear on. He has some gear equipped that gives him at least a plus 1 to strength because it's green. His defense is boosted from something else. His reflex and will is boosted from some gear item. So overall, he probably has 18 strength because you get the modifier upgrades every 4 levels, I think. So you get it like level 4, 8, 12, and 16. Or something like that. So he's probably sitting at like 17, 18 strength. And then Constitution same, Wisdom same, Charisma same. Level 9, Jedi Guardian. As we talked about, the Jedi Guardian is going to get 10 Vitality per level and 4 Force Points per level. He's got 2 plus 2 times level 6. Divided by... His level divided by 6 times 2 plus 2 defense bonus. So he's at level 9 now. So his defense bonus is 2 plus 2 times 1. So 4 based off his level. Yeah, doesn't really matter about skill points because he's dumping them all into med packs, and everything else is just going to be fine. Like, he's going to get the force jump power that he can't use. He's going to get Jedi Sense, which just gives him the ability to use that. Jedi Defense. He's not going to be blocking any blaster bullets. He's not going to be doing any force jumps, so he doesn't get that boosted power attack you get off of Jedi Guardian's first attack. Yeah, he's just smacking a sword with a lot of health. Okay, so I see he has at least Force Velour and the Force.
It was my expectation at the start of this playthrough that Terrace would be super hard and able to
He's
fight
got Velour
civilians.
and the energy mitigation. So he's going to block some energy damage for free. And he's got Force Velour, so he's going to get some extra benefits to his saving throws.
The first was Night Speed, which makes me move fast.
Any playthrough, you're using Night Speed, Master Speed. Literally every playthrough that you're not doing, even if you're just doing a force-only playthrough, you're going to use Master Speed because the plus 4 defense is so good. You're going to stop at Night Speed, obviously, if you're using the force-only, and you don't need Master. But, I mean, just to get through this game alone, it's worth using. First, you run faster, you get better defense, and you get more attacks per round if you're using a melee or a blaster. It's for everybody. It's for everyone. Come on now. Saving throws. If he doesn't care about saving throws for his stats, which I feel like he did because he saved his Jedi levels for some reason. I feel like he didn't even need to do that if he's just going to be only getting force buffs. Why did you do that? You could have made Terrace easier. I'll be honest. I feel like that was a bit of a mistake on your end, in my opinion, at least. I feel like you could have just leveled up because the extra force power you're going to get, you're not going to necessarily need them. Like, you'll get mind affecting or whatever just because you want to get through some NPC conversations. But other than that, like Force Valor, Master Speed, you could have got all that, like, starting at level 8 with their Jedi class.
So blaster pistols and lightsabers, and I just assumed it did the same thing in this game. It wasn't until right now as I'm writing this that I learned that only the second level of energy resistance blocks.
And he obviously got that description from Strategy Wiki. So my boy knows game. My boy knows game, and he knows to go. He knows where to go. He knows game.
Energy attacks. Spoiler alert, I never unlocked the second level of energy resistance in this playthrough because I'm stupid and didn't read. Battled a cat lady and talked her down from being an evil Sith by repeatedly making the pss 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 sound. In the next area, I killed a lady's lost sex robot, grabbed a bunch of lightsaber crystals I couldn't use, got another level where I unlocked improved force valor for a grabbed a bunch of lightsaber crystals I couldn't use.
So he's going to sell them all, obviously.
Got another level where I unlocked improved Force Valor for a +3 attribute.
Interesting that he's going straight for Force Valor for saving throws instead of getting the Jedi defense instead.
Bonus. Fought more Pedro Pascals, took down the almighty
because saving
White
throws aren't your
Cath
most
Hound,
important thing. I feel like
the
your
game
defense
deems
at this
superior
point is
to
your
other
most
Cath
important
Hounds.
thing. And once you go fight the Jedis later on Tatooine and things like that, that's when you're going to want the saving throw upgrades.
What I mean by this, and returned to the Jedi Academy where they gave me Jedi robes that were weaker than the Sith armor, meaning I still had to wear it instead. Into the Mandalorian leader in a fight that I expected to be brutally hard. This one, again, I think was made kind of easier by me using a sword instead of a lightsaber because the
I always
leader's
do this
shield
fight
blocks
before I even
lightsaber
get
attacks, but
Johnny
not
beat,
sword
so
attacks.
I don't have
I actually
Bastila when
made
I
it
do
through
this
this fight
usually.
first try, although as you can see I did have Bastila's help, because technically she was required to be in my party at this point.
Frog, you're bending the rules.
You are cheating.
That's clearly cheating.
Counterpoint, go fuck. I went to the Sandril estate to
Counterpoint. It's your video, man. I don't know.
story
I
minus
support
a
anything
suicide.
that you do.
Spoiler, which I unlocked the Master Toughness feat for even more health points as well as force resistance.
Heck yeah. Big. Okay, dude, please, for the love of God, go get the defense bonus instead of force resistance. You don't need that until Tatooine. You will get another level up, brother. You don't need saving throws. You don't need force resistance. Get the defense bonus. You're still fighting melee attackers and blasters.
This one I don't quite understand the D&D jargon for, but basically it makes enemy force attacks much easier for me to...
Okay. It's not a D&D jargon type thing, my friend. Your opposed rolls are a D20 plus attacker level, so like let's say they are level 15 and they roll a 5, that's going to be 20. Difficulty class is 10 plus your defender level, 15 plus defender level. You are the defender. Let me break this down for you. You're the defender. Your difficulty class is going to be base 10 plus your level. When you are level 11, it seems like you are, your difficulty class is 10 plus 21. The opposing roll has to be their attacker level plus the d20 that they roll. Has to be higher than your defender level. Force immunity bumps it up 5 points, which means a quarter of the rolls on a d20 aren't going to hit. Difficulty class 10 is it's like half. If you are level 11, they're level 11. You're the same level, so you can basically cancel out the attacker level and defender level. So you're rolling a d20 versus a 10. Half the attacks from the enemy aren't going to affect you. Boom. There you go. Break that down.
They sent us off on our new quest to journey to other planets on the star map to find more star maps on those planets so we can locate the exact location of the Star Forge and, if we're lucky, the Star Carnival. The first of these planets...
I will say I'm cutting out quite a bit of this for you guys, but the fact that he's actually floating through this game right now and the video is 44 minutes is kind of crazy. I try to break mine down into like 25 minutes, a little bit more digestible, but he is not going slow. I feel like he's actually cruising through this game. He's just including more things than I would. But I like it. I like how he's including a lot of the stuff from the game.
Gizka are little frog-like creatures, which is good, but they run around the Ebon Hawk and are kind of annoying, and I wanted to get rid of them. So I need to
Aren't you the frog? Why do you want to get rid of the other frogs, bro? Why do you want to get rid of the other frog? You're the frog!
figure out some kind of final solution to the Gizka. But in the meantime, I strolled into Anchorhead where I was ambushed by 3
All right, first Dark Jedi fight. Let's see how this goes. I feel like it's going to be A-okay because he has Force immunity, and he's going to be A-okay. He's got saving throws, Force immunity buffs, and he's got Master Speed. It's not going to be a problem.
Sith that were no match for me with all my new Force powers, with my new Force resistance power being a big help.
Yep.
I did a few swoop races for extra credits because Mod of the Hutt pays a lot. The only downside is that he pays in bonds for some reason that I have to then sell to other merchants for actual dollars.
This is like how the video game industry works, because the video game industry, like Fortnite and Call of Duty, sells you credits or tokens. They don't actually give you the skin for your dollars, and because of that, they don't have to pay you back if you want a refund on the item. They can maybe take the cosmetic away. They can give you back the tokens in the game, but you bought the tokens. You were not misled in what you're going to get if the quote unquote cosmetic that you purchased isn't to what you like. You're going to get your tokens back, but you're not going to get your dollars back, and that's how the companies keep your money. Learn something.
Because all I know is that they show up as enemies, that I can kill them for more experience, so in the words of Anakin Skywalker, I slaughtered them like animals. I also killed a
Like animals!
few Gamorreans who like to kidnap people and blow them up for fun, which also got me a level up where I upgraded my dueling feat and unlocked the heal power, which is the upgrade to the cure power.
You don't really need heal power unless you're going to get rid of poison, because right now your med packs heal more by far because your wisdom is just not high enough.
I still use menuing with item usage to an extent. Along with Mission and HK-47, we dress like
Okay. These fights would be easier if you just also got the defense bonus. With Master Speed and the defense bonus, you can have a +8 to your defense. You don't need the saving throws against these sand people. You need defense so they don't hit you. That's my only difference of recommendation for you using going forward.
sand people and traveled to their base, where I had HK explain that we met
Overall, your build is going crazy good right now, though. I mean, you're huge on strength. You have master power attack, so you're hitting everything. You have the defenses. Like, you're gonna want the saving throws and the force immunity later, and especially when you go against the Dark Jedi. I'm not bogging you there.
the attacks on settlers. If I wasn't playing this game with only the short sword, I would have wiped them out, but alas, I let it be.
Good choice for your playthrough. This would have been a difficult fight with just a short sword, so I respect this decision and the credits to get HK. This definitely would have been a part that you would have probably struggled with, and used so many med packs, dude. You would have used so many med packs on this fight. It would have been insane, but at least you would have had HK because you were in there talking with them with HK, so you could have made that argument just kind of like you did with Bastila against the Mandalorians, that she was technically necessary for your party for the way you were playing this instance. You could have used the same. You could have used the same excuse for HK if you wanted. I'm not you. You could have wiped him out though. But I respect the decision heavily. This would have been so hard on your own.
Upon leaving the cave, I was greeted by Calo Nord, who somehow survived terrorists and wasn't too happy. Just look at him. This was the most shocking fight of Tatooine because I expected this one to be brutal, but I think it was yet another example of a fight where using a sword actually kind of helped.
Anytime in this game you're using a basic sword, it helps because you just don't care about energy shields. People aren't having power shields equipped like the Mandalorians have. I don't know if they really use them much, but they have them to mitigate sword attacks. But Calo Nord has really good armor. I don't know if he's going to switch to it because he's using all of his force powers. That's the cool thing about KOTOR 2 is that they actually give you armor with more than like 2 defense that has like force capabilities on it and a lot of stat buffs on it. So, and you can edit them and upgrade them. So KOTOR 2 just makes the armor so much better, bro. So much better to use. But yeah, I mean, master speed and a sword against enemies that are just relying on energy shields, you're going to wipe them out.
A lot of enemies throughout, so that did make me have to spend more time waiting for my force points to regen rather than just fast traveling. The Kinrath.
The walkway is so annoying that you can't just fast travel back. I think they do it, at least in my perspective, from the game mechanic, that later on in the game, if you choose to side with the Wookiees, you have to fight the Zerka people on the way back, and so they don't want you to teleport past that and transmit back and just kind of skip that whole section and like watch all the Zerka employees like be fought and leave or whatever and such. So that's why they don't allow you to do it on the walkway.
Got ambushed by Sith again, who I was easily taking down until my force resistance power wore off and then their power started working and I got stunned. This served as a valuable lesson for me. Never let force resistance wear off when fighting Dark Jedi.
That is the problem with being a Jedi Guardian / strength build character against these Dark Jedi, specifically on Kashyyyk. I think on Kashyyyk, they actually use force powers more often than they do on other planets. For some reason, the Kashyyyk Dark Jedi are the ones that like I would always get stuck on the most in a playthrough if I'm using like very low intelligence with no force buffs. Like, I think they just use the stunning force powers more Like any Dark Jedi that uses the thing to heal themselves is kind of whatever. You're gonna kill them anyways, and you'll heal yourself. But the ones that use the stunning are most like isolated to this Kashyyyk fight for some reason. It feels like I don't feel like anyone on the Starforge ever tries to stun you.
With that in mind, my second attempt, I dispatched them easily, which also got me another level up where I finally unlocked Effect Mind, letting me do the old, these aren't the droids you're looking
You don't need Effect Mind. You can just use the defense boost. Brother, please.
for trick. Here are my stats at this point, by the way. Shortly, Mind,
Check these
letting me
stats
do
out.
the old, these aren't the droids you're looking for trick. Here are my stats.
Okay, so level 13, and your strength is 21 with a boost on that. Your constitution's the same, wisdom same, charisma same. So you've only dumped points from the strength. You have 2 extra points that you dumped in, so you're at 18. So you have +3 strength from something in your inventory that you have equipped. I haven't seen your actual gear. He's not showing that, but I assume it's just like, it's not a Verpine headband, it doesn't seem, because he's not using that. I don't really know what he has equipped, I'll be honest. I don't even know if he's using equipment very well.
Stats at this point, by the way. Shortly
Show
after
me
I
your
met a
gear.
Wookiee who took me to outright kill them, and to do
So
the
he
quest
got force
that way,
persuasion
light
to make
side,
them
where
run
you
away,
don't kill
maybe?
them, I need a character with computer use. The problem is fast travel and party selection were disabled both in the Shadowlands and the walkway, so to do this quest, I had to walk all the way back to the Wookiee village, select T3 and 4, then walk all the way back to
he's
Zerka,
actually
where I
gonna
disabled
care
Sonic
about
devices,
that,
which,
bro. Just
although I
fight
didn't
them or
straight up
something.
kill them, this led to them getting chased off
Make
by
them
a
run
horde
away,
beyond
dude.
my
Just take the dark side
comprehension.
points.
That if it
That
did
would've
catch
just
them,
saved you so
probably
much
killed them
time.
in a brutal way. Whoops. He's a Jedi Consular, which means he gets a ton of power, so I loaded him up. Mace Windu and
So he's going to use him without a short sword. He's going to let him use the Force, I guess, it seems like, to be an attacker.
attack, by the way. I found the Circlet of Suresh, a light side only piece of headwear that gives +5 to wisdom.
Okay, so he's using the Verpine. I guess he just has the head equipment, like, turned off. But the Circlet of Suresh is by far the best headgear in the game. It's not even
Making
close.
it a huge
+5 to wisdom is crazy.
outcast. Hello, Freyar. I am Frogarchist. I had another level up, by the way, where I got Master Dueling and Dominate Mind.
Frog, please. Please. I've been over this.
If I actually read the power descriptions, I would have gotten improved energy resistance, but alas.
You don't even need that. Get the defense boost. It's 20 seconds of extra defense.
Again, because I had a sword
Because
instead
you
of a
had a sword,
lightsaber,
yeah,
but
but
also
energy
because
shields
of
don't
energy
matter.
resistance. That actually helped me here. After dispatching them, I had successfully proven myself
Those are like one of the like couple enemies in this game that use sonic damage, by the way. If you're worried about sonic damage, do not worry about it. Those are like one of the like couple enemies.
With only 2 planets left, I decided to next visit Manon, which is a giant ocean planet inhabited by fish people called Selkat. Unfortunately for them, I'm not
He's doing this all the same order that I do it. Tatooine is by far like the easiest planet to do first, it seems like always. And just getting HK-47 as early as possible if you want to use him. And then the rest is kind of history.
divided into several load zones because this is an original Xbox game. I had Jolie
Yep.
in my party for a reason, which is that upon coming to this part of the city,
If they end up making the remake of this game, having Manon be one entire, like, thing that you don't have to reload into, having the Jedi Enclave be something you can walk in and out without loading, there can be a load screen between, like, the Sandro Matali and, like, the outside world, and then, like, the Ancient Tomb in the outside world, but I think even the Ancient Tomb you could probably do without a load screen, and just have it be, like, something you go into. But the Jedi Enclave being able to just go into and then come out the other side to your ship would be cool and good. Very much capable of doing it. Don't let them do it in the Bethesda engine, obviously, because they don't know how to do anything outside of, like, how Skyrim Elder Scrolls, like, has so many loads. Take a look at Starfield. But, no, I hope if the remake comes out, because it's not even a when, because, like, they're developing it, whatever. Oh, I just hope they do less load screens.
evidence. I found this evidence by first killing the Sith Master, who was definitely a formidable foe, but I did get him on attempt 1. Then I broke into his room, almost got killed by a mine, literally 1 health left, my god. And I found a data pack.
Yeah, sometimes those massive plasma mines will get you. That Dark Jedi Master also, pretty good fight. He's got some buffs, and his force power is hit like a truck, but you had force immunity, so you did fine, and you were really not at much of a damage, at least in that fight with him, solo.
pad by the courthouse anyway, I now moved to the Sunray trial where again, I had no clue what I was doing. With each witness, there are a series of questions and arguments you can make, and I was just selecting every option with zero thought. But after getting Sunray found guilty and executed, I realized that was not the way. Thankfully, I saved often and in different slots, so I could try it over and over again until
Always save often and in different slots for KOTOR. They have bugs in the save files of this game, especially on mobile, brother. Especially on mobile. If you play on mobile, just save often everywhere because it's so bad. You'll just quick save and then it'll like load you, but you'll be dead when you load. So then you gotta go back for like an hour if you saved an hour ago. So like just save often, man.
Actively guilty. I returned to the Republic base where I got another level up that allowed me to get Master Valor, which increases all attributes by 5 while active. Massive.
I will give you a pass on this one because your attributes all go up by 5. But I just want to see you get the defense both. Dude, I just want to see you get the defense bonus.
Diver suit and went out to a flooded part of the facility where I walked at 1 mile per hour.
Worst part of the entire game right here. Worst part of the entire game.
Find the star map on the ocean floor. Then I just had to walk at 1 mile per hour back to the original base I started in. Speaking of, when I made it back and was saying my goodbyes, I opened a door and got greeted by Jens Kidman, who I recognized.
Oh my god! You mean the guy who killed Trask who we never see but like one time in the game? And then you just pop up and you're supposed to be a boss fight, but you're dumb and stupid and no one remembers you or cares about you? Oh my god!
This is the Dark Jedi who killed Trask earlier, which fueled me with rage. I took out his 2 Sith friends with no problem and turned my attention to him, where I was easily taking him too until I made the exact same mistake from earlier where I let my Force Resistance run out and got choked.
How'd you die if you're safe scumming or pause scumming the health?
Correctable mistake though, and on try 2 I took care of business. When I made it back to the surface, I got taken into
I don't know, how'd you die if you are pause scumming the med packs? Because you could have just healed while you're like stunned and just kind of waited it out.
You have to pick 1 member of your party to break out of Sith jail and free the rest of the crew. I chose Jolie because he's cool and can mind trick the Sith guards into leaving him by himself. Meanwhile, Bastila.
Plus, you've already used Jolie for like the rest of it. Plus, if you're using a Jedi Consular and you just use Force Lightning and everything, this will make this so easy.
So as Jolie, I use whatever powers and things I wanted because I don't see the point of this challenge being to have party members that can go short sword only. I see the point being building a main character that can. If you disagree with this and it bothers you, please send your complaint to I'm a big dumb stupid idiot head at Frogarchist.com. I was required to have Karth and Bastila for the Leviathan, so I had them throughout, and with their help, this ship was exceptional in my favor. After a bit, we went on a spacewalk that was slower than Jim Cramer. On the other side, we fought a few more Sith before making it to the bridge where we had a final showdown with Soul Trap. You'll be shocked to hear this, but once again, this fight wasn't bad at all. And it's another example of a character having a jack shield for lightsabers that does nothing against my sword. After defeating where I got a level up and unlocked the implant level 1 feat and Force immunity and upgrade to Force resistance.
Okay, Force immunity is good to have. I can't argue with that. Getting the bonus for the implant is always good because that's just free attribute points, and you're never gonna argue with free attribute points, especially in a run like this.
When we got to Hangar 18, I unequipped everything from Bastila for no particular reason, and then a minute later, as we were trying to grab the Evanhawk and skedaddle, oh no, it's Darth Malik. He started talking to us, and there was this cutscene where other people talking, and at the end it shows us the true identity of Darth Revan. Oh my god, it's John McCain. With that, Bastila and Malik talked to me about the weather, then we 1v1'd, and not to brag, but I wrecked him. But he put me in a tornado, and I was helpless, but instead of just cutting me in half, he ran away. I searched for him, found him again, wrecked him again, then Bastila did the old I'll hold him off, you get out of your routine, and we left without her. As tragic as it was to
basically at this point with your build, you are insanely good at solo fights because of dueling, +3 attack, +3 defense, and then your master power attack, you're dealing massive damage. Master speed, you're going to hit more and do massive damage because you power attack and you do 3 power attacks, and then it's literally the best thing in the entire game.
Off the Evanhawk, but first talk to a black market salesman where I spent almost all my credits on life support packs and off the Evanhawk, but first talk to a black market salesman where I spent almost
30 vitality points plus your wisdom plus 3 times your user skill and treat injury. You can't die anymore. You literally can't die anymore. You could go fist only with this build currently, and you won't die anymore because you can just punch everything. You'll just punch everything.
All my credits on life support packs and Dominator Gauntlet.
So we're going to get the Strength +5 Dominator Gauntlets for 22k. big saving money for.
which give me +5 strength, which is ridiculous and put me at 20.
Okay. So we can actually see his entire build now. He's got the Jedi robes. I don't know what his belt is, but he could have got the adrenaline stimulator, which gives you like +4 to defense or like something like that, and then +4 to all your saving throw. It might be +2 dexterity and +4 to all your saving throws, something like that. It's the best like belt in the game. Go look at my other video if you want to know what it is. But Dominator Gauntlet's +5 defense. He's got the Brejex armband because it's free versus slashing damage, and nothing else is even different than an energy shield. The rest are just energy shields in this game. And then Jedi robes. He is going to get the opportunity to get the Quell Drummer robes here and get the +2 to his defense. So he has, or is it 3? I think he gets 3. It's either 3 or 4 defense, and then he'll get also like a +4 to wisdom or something like that. And then yeah, he'll just be better. And then he's got the reflex package for the 1
28 strength in total. I went back to the give me +5 strength, which is ridiculous and put me at 28
reflex package. Note that +1 dexterity.
strength in total.
Know his stats. Dexterity is 9. There's absolutely no reason for him to even have the reflex package equipped at this point. I feel like there might be a wisdom 1 package or something like that. There might not be. But yeah, I mean, he just has the reflex package on because like he has to have it equipped because like there's no reason not to have it equipped, I guess. But it doesn't matter. Except for when you're using your force buff. Actually, you have 9, so you get a +5, so you get a +3 to your dexterity instead of the +2. So then, I mean, that'll take you up to a +2 overall compared to your -1. But that's still only a short amount of time, and if someone gets rid of your force buffs, then you're still stuck at -1.
Through a cave where I fought another Torrent tech and found Keldroma robes, which gives me +5.
+5 defense, +8 max dexterity still, and +2 to wisdom. Let's go. This is what you want these days.
Defense and +2 to wisdom, helping my force powers. They're
also helps with your tree injury by another +1. Just saying.
4 tombs of ancient Sith lords, and 3 of them are open to me at the moment. In the first, I fought a droid army and leveled up to level 18. In the
okay, so he got his second implant level, I think.
Lords, and 3 of them are open to me at the moment. In the first, I fought a droid army and leveled up to.
So he got implant level 2, so he can get better implants, and he'll actually get something more useful than just a +1.
Level 18.
He did it. He got the +2 defense to saving and saving throws. Oh, brother. Oh, brother, finally. Now you're getting your +5 attributes and your +2 to defense and saving throws. Brother, please, thank you.
In the know what the result of that was. Then
Don't get me wrong. You were getting attribute points the entire game. But the defense was just going to be better for you, at least if you're not fighting Jedi. Here's the way I see it. You didn't need all the attribute points. If you had the defense, your chance to hit is already high enough because you have 20 strength. The attribute points are way better later game. Earlier game, it would have been better to have the saving throws and the defense because the defense is going to be by far your biggest thing to just not get hit. Why care about your attribute score increase for gaining defense like 2 points when you can just get 2 points for the base thing? Plus you get 2 for your saving throws. So if you're worried about like getting extra points for your saving throws through your attributes, you just get it automatically through that force power too. You get what I'm saying? So like the only thing you're missing out on is your chance to hit. You're not worried about that because you're using power attack. And then you're using force immunity anyways. So you don't even need the attribute bonus because force immunity makes it to where it's just 15 plus your level. Like you don't even need to have the attributes boosted. At least that's the way I see it. I think I would have gone defense first. I understand why you went attributes first because attributes in this game control everything and they are super broken. But like defense would have maybe made a couple things easier and yeah, it would have been just fine either way. I mean, you did it this way, you're gonna get the bonus before you get to the Malik fight, and that's kind of all that matters.
Then I teamed up with the Draco lady to kill a Tukata mom, only for her to try to take all the credit for herself. So, gentlemen, I regret to inform you that I could not, in fact, fix her. Inside this tomb, I fought my way through more beasts before 2 Torrent attacks at once, which was actually really tough. I had to menu a lot.
These 2 Torrent attacks are pretty difficult. I mean, they chunk health every hit. Even if you use the Sith power shield that mitigates like 15 physical damage or something like that, they just chunk your health, bro. When you're fighting 2 of them at once with no teammates, Like, they're focused on you and you're taking side hits, so your defense isn't helping as much. Like, it's tough, bro. Still menued his health, though, so he's going to be fine regardless. I mean, every time his health even gets, like, halfway, he could just, like, heal with a med pack. Plus, his tree injury skill is so high. Plus, he has life support packs now. He cannot die.
For med packs, but I actually managed to take them both out first try.
I think he's actually still just using med packs.
I had to menu a lot for med packs, but I
Yeah, he's just using
actually
base med
managed to
packs
take
still. He
them
doesn't even
both
need
out
life
first
support
try.
packs. He's still saving those.
Son of a bitch. After killing them both the second time, I
What
came
a
into a room with a
bug.
puzzle that I actually
Wait,
like
what
a
a
lot
bug. That's crazy, dude. That's awesome.
where you move light rings around. This one I didn't Google, but instead solved all by myself. In solving this,
Quick fact for you guys. The Ring game is based off the Tower of Hanoi. Look it up. There is a mathematical solution for every single tower that is increasing by a specific margin. You can go look that up and learn something today. You're welcome.
chamber, Uthura and Uthar were waiting for me, and Master Uthar wanted me to kill Urethra, but instead we teamed up to take him out and dispatched him easily. Then she
Teamed up.
betrayed me, which went as you'd expect. I let her live, though, because I was always taught you should never burn a bridge.
'Cause I'm a good
Korriban
guy.
was all done. I took care of a couple more parts.
Also, fun fact, if you kill Master Uthar, but you let Uthura come back, or one of the two, there is a specific situation where you can go back and you don't have to fight everybody, but otherwise than that, you have to fight every single person in the academy, and it's very annoying.
Me tell me that their leader requests an audience. They take me to him, and he tells me that his name is the
The
One.
One.
Fro thinks he's him, and that we've
I
met
am the
before,
one,
and
the
I
one
broke
who
a
donated a
promise
gun
to him
that
to
gives
wipe
respect
out a
up on the
neighboring
streets.
tribe, given that my resistance, but didn't. While traveling, the native wild species
You don't need the improved. You're fine. I'll be honest. You're fine, dude. You're so strong at this point. Your med pack's coming. Don't worry about it. You're chilling. This playthrough is literally on lock right now. You are just absolutely
Rancor.
winning.
Thankfully, though, they're all, and I found myself at the other base, home of
Before we get there, my question is: are you going to bring Juhani and the old man when they're not required? I think you are going to.
the spot with 4 Rancors and 2 other guards. I focused on him first, which was fine because he turned out to be weak, then moved on to the Rancors
he's actually
and
not
was
that
having
strong,
to use
so
med packs
Rancors were the
literally
problem
every
here.
turn. This fight is ridiculous, and I wish I could use Force Storm or Wave. I did get my last level up in the middle of it, so that helped for a free heal, plus just letting me get stronger.
All right, so he's level 5. He's got the maxed out strength bonus from. Is he maxed light attribute?
unlocked. I did get my last.
He's either max or just close to it. I think he has it because he has 28 strength, so he has the +3 from the gloves, the +5. Or +5 from the gloves, +3 from that, and he's at strength 20. So I think he is at the maximum light attribute. His wisdom is +5. His wisdom is 21. What did he? Circlet of Suresh, dude, and the Quell Drum Robes do so much carrying, bro.
Last level up in the middle of it, so that helped for a free heal, plus just letting me get stronger. I unlocked the implant level 3 feat and some Who Cares Force Power because I thought I was out of useful ones to get. And after
Brother, it is like 6 defense.
unlocked the implant level 3 feat and some Who Cares Force Power
6 defense and saving throws. That's not a who cares. That's big.
because circumstances could I have allies. Except in the middle of their ceremony, Juhani and Naked Jolie show up to come with me and the Rakata immediately folded. We cut to the Star Forge where Malik looks like a World War I veteran, then we're inside the temple, where with my
He brought them. He brought them. I told you he would. I told you he would. Hey, man, this is your playthrough. I'm not here to judge. You do you, man.
required companions, Jolie and Juhani, we absolutely wrecked shop, making this temple look like a joke.
And
I made
you're
sure to
giving
loot
them
everything I
lightsabers.
could, mostly to try to find life support packs for
I'm about to
healing
send
when
the
I got
email
to the
again,
Star
bro.
Forge. On the lower floor of the temple, I came across a puzzle that annoyed me, but I didn't Google the solution. I binged it. We went to the top of the tower where we found
you just make an H.
solo, but still, whatever. Then I went to deck 2. Oh god.
All this is very annoying and long and tedious. There's so much to fight. They also constantly come if you don't progress through the area fast enough, so then it just gets more annoying. But I hope you go get the light side robes at least from the deck 2, man.
The thing about deck 2 is that the enemies spawn in infinitely. I was stronger
there
than
you go.
all
See?
of them and
Infinite.
could take them out if I had my force powers activated. Ghost. I started using stimulants for the first time since Terrace, but if I was out of force points and couldn't use master speed, this is all for naught. Being down to
The only thing you need your force powers for at this point is force immunity. Like, your stimulants, you use an alacrity, a strength, and whatever the third one is, plus a master battle, like a hyper battle stimulant, you'll be totally fine. You won't even get touched. Plus, they're
one
active
attack instead
longer.
of having 3 was just a death shot. The strategy I came up with was to kill the current wave of Sith before the next one spawned, beeline it to this room where I didn't know there'd be more Sith inside, unfortunate, get the special robes
Yep,
here
that
that
is
are
always
+5 to defense like my current robes, but also another +2 to all saves and +5 to wisdom, and hide and pray
Yep.
that the Sith didn't find me
Insane
before
gear.
my
Insane
forced
gear.
regen. And to my shock, this worked. When I left the room, the new wave started coming.
Another reason you could have did Dark Side is because the Dark Revan robes gives you +1 to strength, so that would have been another thing for you to get instead of the +3 strength from the light side. You could have taken the damage and got a +1 to strength from the robes. That would have gone hard, huh?
But it was too late for them. I used Master
Something-
Speed and just
something if
ran
you are
past the
looking
rest of
into
them to
this.
deck 3. Group of Sith while being chased by the previous enemies, but I took out the new group of Sith, continued rushing, and ran into Bastila, who was doing
The absolute menace god just bum rushes. We love to see it.
Dark Jedi things. She wanted to duel, which I was fine with because I had full confidence that I could 1v1 her, and I was correct, it wasn't a contest. After beating her a few times, she surrendered and became good again and was like, "I love you," and I replied with, "Thanks." I ran into
Hit her with the thanks, boy. Smack that plate on the table. You don't get none of this. Yeah. Bastila fight, if she uses the Force Storm a lot and you're not prepared for that, it can be annoying. It can be annoying. And especially since that the gear that says it will soak up electric damage doesn't actually do that, you get damage regardless. So it's just annoying.
Malik, who spawned a bunch of red
But you can always just pause and save with yourself with the med packs because you're doing the pause med packs game. So don't worry about it.
droids in the most pointless part of the Starforge. There are 6 different computer terminals, and all you have to do is run to each one and disable its respective droid generator.
This is
Easy.
100%
Then I made it to the
annoying.
final showdown, me versus Malik, mano-y-mano.
Okay. Is he just gonna go on the platform, plant a bunch of mines, and walk away, or is he just gonna actually fight him straight up with a bunch of stimulants and force buffs? I think he's gonna force buff and stimulant because he's not gonna force storm.
Where just like earlier, he didn't stand a chance against me. Although instead of 2-shotting him, this time it was more like 4 or 5-shotting. The problem is, after you take down his health, he absorbs the life force from one of the many captive Jedi floating around. If you have offensive force powers, you can just run around and preemptively destroy the rest of the Jedi, not allowing him to regen. The problem is, I didn't. So every time I took his health down, I had to watch helplessly as he simply regen.
True, it
That
makes
didn't
it
make this
annoying.
fight hard. My force regen while he was running off to the next Jedi, so I didn't run out of force points or anything. It just made it really time-consuming and annoying. But finally, after about 9 minutes of fighting, I brought
True, it's
Malik's
so
health
long
down
if
and
you
he was
don't do
out
it.
of Jedi, meaning I won and the Dark Lord was defeated. And what's that in my hand? That's right, a short sword. The only weapon I needed to beat this game. If you like this video,
Well, overall, you didn't end up grenade scumming or mine scumming Malik. I respect that. I'm glad you didn't. The only really things I have to say is that like you could have went dark side, you went light side. You had good bonuses either way. You can't really go wrong either way. This game's kind of set up where you can play either way and you'll succeed. You had to run around and yeah, you just had to do all that. Overall, the build was good. I mean, you just went for the force buffing angle instead of just like big gear angle, which is better in many cases because of the 5 attribute points you get from Valor plus the defense you get plus Master Speed. You can't argue with Master Speed, and you definitely needed to use Master Speed through this playthrough if you were going to use the short sword only, because otherwise you're just not getting the damage that you want out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like Frog's video from what you get to see from this video. Go check out the full video. It's very funny. Frog does very good editing and makes it very entertaining. I want you all to go see his actual video. Check out his KOTOR 2 video with the plasma torch only. And if you want to see more things like this, subscribe, comment, let me know. Overall, Frog, you did great, and I'll catch you guys next time. As you all know, I'm Manislav of the sauce with the same ink. Get lost in the sauce. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.